Hey, I just wanted to talk about how I didn't like the fact that you always say that women take advantage of men for their money and stuff like that. It's not always true. I mean,
no one used the word always. You did.
Well, when I first started dating my boyfriend, he was the breadwinner. He pulled in all the money. And then all of a sudden, he wants to go back to school. And so I took over the role of being the breadwinner because I graduated and I have a full-time job now. So, I mean, there's certain situations where, you know, the women do work too.
I don't care if there are exceptions to the rule.
Well, I don't appreciate that you always say that women...
I don't always say always. You're the one who brought up the word always.
Well, you say that women only use men for money.
I didn't use the words only, all, or exclusively, or always. You did.
Well, you seem to blame women for, like, cheating and stuff like that when men do it,
No one said that men don't cheat. I said men are dogs. Men are sluts by definition. I've said that many times, dear. Just because you're not paying attention or you selectively filter what I say, don't blame me.
Well, you're just a woman hater. You just don't like...
No, I love women. Women are the best sperm depositories I can possibly imagine.
Then why do you always hate on them?
I don't. I don't hate women at all. There's no better place to, get sexual satisfaction. And there's nothing like a great pair of breasts.
Well, see, that's what you only want to use them for.
Oh, that's different.
Well, I just don't agree with you.
Well, you don't have to agree with me, dear, but believe me, more men feel like me than like you.
Well, I mean, you say that women always lie and always cheat.
Again, there you are bringing up the word always again.
Okay, well, most of the time, you're saying that women do this and women do that.
In dating, yes, I do believe that there's a lot of lying going on, and therefore it's okay for men to lie too.
Well, you forget the fact that men do it also, and you only...
No, I don't. In fact, I'm recommending to men to lie. See, that's the part. You have very selective hearing. I not only admit that they lie, I tell them how to do it.
Exactly, and that's the reason that so many relationships are messed up, because there's...
We're not talking about setting up relationships. Guys just want to get laid.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is. Men. I didn't use the word all. You did.
Well, you have very selective men that listen to your show.
What does that mean?
Most of them are just pigs.
And that makes them... And they're selective pigs?
Yeah, and they...
How selective? How are they selective? I don't understand. Explain that to us.
Because they only pick women that are skanky. And,
no. Slutty, yes. Skanky, no.
Well, slutty and skanky are the same thing.
No, they're not the same thing. Okay, I'll tell you the difference. If you need to be educated here, I'll be happy to school you. A slut is someone who gives up to anybody and everybody, and a skank is someone who's disgusting, dirty, filthy. Well, whether they give it up to everybody or not. You could have a skank who's a virgin.
I don't think so.
Oh, yes, you can do. There are plenty of smelly, scuzzy, sticky women who've never had sex with anyone.
Well, girls that are slutty, are dirty and stuff like that.
No, darling, take it from me. I've been with many sluts. There are sluts who know how to clean up their junk.
That's disgusting.
Well, darling, that's the way it is. And by the way, when I meet a woman who's a slut, I don't criticize her. I say, thank you for coming into my life. Now spread your legs.
That's disgusting.
Well, again, darling, believe me, this is how men think, including whatever man is in your life, probably.
Sorry, say that again? I didn't hear you.
This is how most men think, probably including the man who's in your life.
No, he doesn't think like that.
How do you know what he thinks
like?
like?
Show, but he doesn't
he does listen to my show.
Yeah, he does listen to your show.
How could he possibly admit to you that he agrees with me?
He agrees
having heard you.
But he doesn't agree with the fact that you tell people that they shouldn't get married when it works for some people.
Well, again, some people jump out the 16th-story window and they survive. That doesn't mean we should all do it.
Right, well, I just don't think you should be breaking up relationships because you have one opinion.
I can't reach out of the radio and break up a relationship. That is done by the people involved.
Yeah, well, I think that you just don't really make our world a better place. You just
yes, I do. Are you kidding? The people who are bored and driving home from work get to hear a program like this. They're entertained by it, frequently informed by it. I think the people who have to drive in very heavy traffic and have to get home from work and get to hear this program would disagree with you vehemently.
I'm sure they would.
Well, there you go. So the world is a better place for the people who appreciate what I do. You just don't happen to be one of them. And even you listen.
Yeah, but I don't have to agree, and I don't have to follow.
No one said you have to agree, and no one has said you have to follow what I say. Nobody has to follow what I say. Although the guys who do follow what I say are going to be a lot happier than the guys who don't.
Not necessarily, because you're trying to tell everyone.
The guy who wrote in that I'm talking about this hour, if he had followed my rule and not let that woman move into his place and not paid her bills, he would not be in the position he's in now.
Well, it's also, he also picked that woman, so that's partially his fault.
That's my point. Don't pick any woman. Live alone. Let the woman have her own place. Why should we live with you? Why should we let you into our homes? It doesn't make any sense.
Not all women are, you know.
No one said all women. No one said. You are the one who keeps using words like all and every, and you keep bringing them up. I didn't bring them up.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Whatever. That's the usual emotional word that women use when they have no logic to back up anything they're saying. And you're just like the rest.
I just don't think you have any logic as to what you're saying.
Give me an example. I'm listening. I'll be happy to explain anything logically that I've said. Go ahead.
Well, you say that women are dogs, or women, you know, only use men for money, and women do this and women do that, but you never
women do
bring up
this
that
and women do that. I'm supposed to defend that statement. Women do this and women do that.
Okay, so you say that women only use men for their money.
Generally, they do.
Okay, well, men do that too.
We use women for their money?
You just leave that part out.
Men use women for money?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. No, there's a few losers out there, but mostly men use women for sex.
Right, but they also do use, you know, women for money also. There can be lots of...
Again, there could be a pit bull who won't bite your arm off if you have a beef tenderloin in your hand. That could happen, but it generally doesn't.
I just don't appreciate that you make women seem like the bad people and you try to, like, lift men up.
I'm not saying they're bad. Women are fantastic. I just don't want them living in my house.
Well, okay.
I love dogs, too. I don't happen to own one.
Right, I just don't think it's fair that you only portray women as, you know, people that use other
women
people.
Are dream killers. Women are resource eaters.
Men do the same kinds of
women
things.
Women move into your house and generally claim that they're entitled now to this new improved lifestyle they've got by moving in with you and things like that.
Well, you know what? I have a home with my boyfriend, and we've both put in our fair share.
Well, again...
It does work.
No, that's... I'd like to hear his opinion on it. Since he's a listener, I have a feeling that it isn't so cut and dried as you say.
Well, I'll have him call in then.
Yeah, you do that. Hang on a second. Carrie, what did you want to say to Kathy?
Well, I was just calling because I completely disagree with her. My point, women use men, men use women. That's just the way it is. And if you accept that and understand the philosophy of the way that happens, then you can actually have happy relationships. I firmly was in a horrible, horrible marriage, and I prefer not to do it again. But I love sex. So I have what I call friends with benefits. I have many friends who are friends. I'm not talking about they call me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, falling out of the bar because they didn't get laid, and then they call me up. If they can call me and say, hey, would you like to go to the movies, hang out, whatever, and not expect to get anything, I may choose to benefit them, as long as it's not expected. We use men, and men use us. It's just the way it is. Women use men for money. We all, when we're dating or we're doing anything like that, we misrepresent ourselves and pretend like we're these perfect people, and we're not. If we just act like who we are and, hey, I don't want strings attached, been in a marriage, have a kid, I don't need anybody to raise my child or to give me money. I've got my own money. At the same time, I still need your penis. So if you benefit from me, I benefit from you. We use each other all the time. It's when you pretend that you don't, or you like to lie to yourself and say that I don't do that, that's when you run into bad relationships.
Well, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it as me using someone else. I share it mutually. And I don't understand why you have to use the terms using people because, if you're happy and you want to share things and they share things also, it should be a mutual agreement.
If your boyfriend didn't have anything to offer you, you wouldn't be with him. So you use him for what he can offer you. So you are using him. I don't use a vibrator because it has nothing to offer.
Because he has something to offer. Just because he has something to offer doesn't mean I'm using him. That means that he has some benefit for me, but I have some benefit for him. So it's a mutual agreement, not using other people. See, that's what's so messed up about society is everyone just wants to use other people when really we should all mutually, have an equal relationship where we're giving and taking. That's not.
I use you for what you can do for me, and he uses me for what I do for him. If I have a paycheck and a vagina, and he has a paycheck and a penis, I'm going to use it.
Well, you don't have to call it using. It could be a mutual benefit, but that's your choice. I mean, some people
we use everything in life. We use a toothbrush, we use a car, we use a vibrator, we use men use women. You use things. I'm not saying that you mistreat them. Using something and mistreating it is a different story. If I, decide my vibrator doesn't work for me, then I throw it against the wall. Then I'm mistreating it. But if you mistreat something, that's a different story. But we use things all the time. We use things every day in life. It's just
but that's different than using people. That's just not the way to look at it. You shouldn't be using people. Yeah, you do use stuff, but you shouldn't use people. You should have a mutual agreement and a benefit between two people.
But that's where you're wrong, because if you're honest with you use them for a need. If your boyfriend stops meeting your needs, you stop using him.
Yeah, that's true.
So you
doesn't mean I'm using him. That just means that he no longer is giving me what I need, and so I go somewhere else. But that's not using someone.
Well, yes, it is. Mistreating someone is what Tom is talking about. When you lie and you cheat and you hold somebody by their crotch because you think that you've got an upper hand on the situation, that's mistreating someone. But to use them for what benefits you, if they don't want to be used, they're going to get up and leave.
That's true. But I just don't agree that Tom is always dogging women when men do the same kinds of things and he forgets to bring
I don't think he's dogging women. I think he's being honest. And what happens is most women aren't honest with themselves. We use men all the time. I've been in relationships since my husband, and we use them all the time, and we lie to them all the time. When I say, oh, hon, I just went to the store and I bought this because it was on sale, but then I got a whole trunk full of crap that I didn't bring in that I just fly in my closet one piece at a time. We do it all the time. It's no different than the things that they do to us.
Well, not everybody does that. Maybe
he didn't say everybody, though. He's just saying that in general, those are the kind of little games that people play with each other. And it happens. And most people just don't want to be honest about it and admit it. And you're not going to have a good relationship until you can say, you know what? That's the way it is.
Well, I guess there's some using, but I call it mutual benefit. I just don't like the word using when it comes to people. I don't think that's the way that we should address relationships.
You might as well be honest about it. Keitha, what did you want to say to Kathy here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, basically, the other woman covered it pretty much. She's sitting there going off telling everybody, sluts and skanks, and this, what, everybody does have something to benefit from somebody. Everything you say, Tom, is right on the
There we go. There we go.
About women, it is true. I've been married for 14 years, my husband, and I know what is up.
I never said it wasn't true. I just said he only portrays it as
but what you're saying is, you don't like that word, using mutual benefit. You're using the same word. You're just switching it around.
No, because I don't think I use people. I think I have a benefit.
Everybody uses something, whether it's a person, a thing, whatever. Everybody uses something. And you can't categorize women as sluts because they want to go out and have fun and do what they want to do. I mean, that you're categorizing right there. Is that right? So it's just not as right to use somebody as it is to categorize somebody.
Okay.
So, I mean, I believe everything that the other woman had to say. I listen to Tom every day. This is the first time I've ever gotten online to talk to him, and I just want to tell him right on for telling the women and the men what is up.
Keitha, thank you. Kathy, thank you as well.